By the way, Solo Black misses it, along with DB Machine. Going through on that lead, that is Zulu Warrior. Zulu Warrior in front of right against the rail, Go West Young Man. Then comes So Beautiful, tracking them in fourth. That is She's Adorable, right against the rail, Rapida. Then comes as they pass the five, that's Linstead Market, and now overtaken by Never. Then comes DB Machine recovering after that bad break. Then comes Papidon, Solo Black, and racing at the back of the field, the Soul Warrior. They go past the four and head towards the three, and it is Go West Young Man on that lead. So Beautiful tracking in second. Right there, too, that Zulu Warrior. Also there, that is She's Adorable and the Linstead Market. Never comes next. And coming on to, that's DB Machine, Rapida, Papidon, and Solo Black, and racing at the back of the field, that's Soul Warrior there at the top of the lane, and Zulu Warrior coming back for more right against the rail. Go West Young Man is out in the middle, also coming on out wide, that's So Beautiful, but it's Zulu Warrior that finds another gear and begins to kick away from these. It's Zulu Warrior in front under the terrific Tevin Foster, and he has a second on the card. It's Zulu Warrior running away from these in the end, and Zulu Warrior will end up about a 9 length winner from Go West Young Man second. Then comes She's Adorable, So Beautiful, and Never in fifth. They're off and racing. Chief Dissident misses it and is left at the back of the field early. Out wide, that is Crown Chaser with that lead passing the 6 furlong point. Brenda Boy chases in second. Right there, too, that's Oil Machine. Behind Oil Machine, the Soul Warrior. Then comes Himaya. Chief Dissident just recovering, passing one, and Spraga, and now sharing the back of the field. That's Spraga and Chief Dissident. They've passed the heading to the four, and it is Crown Chaser. Half a length in front of racing in second, that's Brenda Boy. Oil Machine watches them from third. The Soul Warrior comes next. Then comes Imaya. Also coming on from behind, that is Spraga, and racing at the back of the field, Chief Dissident. They're coming to the 2.5 furlong pole, and it is Crown Chaser on that lead, tracked all the while though by Brenda Boy. Also coming on the rail, that's Oil Machine, but it is Crown Chaser in front and beginning to pull away, about 3 lengths in front, and now beginning to show a bit better, more class than these, as Crown Chaser looks to have this one all sewn up. Crown Chaser sprinting off, coming to the 1/2 furlong pole, and this looks like it's going to turn into double digits. It's about 8 at the moment. Crown Chaser eased in the end by the sneaky Fox Radish Roman. Crown Chaser on an afternoon stroll, maybe by double digits. It's tight for second though. Looks like Oil Machine just getting there ahead of Brenda Boy and Himaya.
They're off. Banadura from the wide draw gets away quickly. Run Julie Run, as expected, goes sprinting after her as they charge down the back stretch and head toward the 7 furlong point. Amma is racing just in between horses. Fast and Furious Links picking up on the rail as they charge toward the final 6. So Banadura sets the splits by 1.5 lengths. Run Julie Run settle back neatly in second. Fast and Furious Links edging closer. Crypto Girl on the outside. Buttercup is racing down near the rail. Midnight Flight out wide. Shiny Star toward the center. Amma races down against the rail as they head passing the 5. Come Home to Me races up next. Battle Angel races toward the back of the field at this stage, along with Blue Sensation. They share last. 1/2 mile to run. The tempo will increase in the 1,000 guineas, and out in front remains a Banadura striding out powerfully. Run Julie Run now right in the slipstream. Midnight Flight is next, about 5 off that lead. Fast and Furious Links and Crypto Girl come next as they leave the 3. Buttercup has a mountain to climb along with Come Home to Me and the rest. Shiny Star in behind. Blue Sensation asked to pick up on the rail. Then comes Battle Angel, and at the back of the field it's Amma as they come thundering into the top of the lane in the 50th running of the 1,000 guineas, and Run Julie Run now pulls alongside Banadura, and now Run Julie Run, as expected, begins to kick away from them. Come Home to Me is traveling down against the rail. Banadura has cried enough. It's Run Julie Run. She's racing away from them. If a traffic cop was here this afternoon, surely Run Julie Run would pick up a speeding ticket, and it's Run Julie Run that will capture the 1,000 guineas by 5 legs over Come Home to Me. Then Battle Angel, Banadura, and Amma.
Ready for a start for Michael Sims. They're off and racing. in a very good line as Rackdom chanced the course, and Rackdom now goes through to take that lead. Supremacy rushing up on the outside, right against the rail. That's Midnight Galaxy and Shani Star. Just behind them, that's Mac and Rome. Out wide, Battle Angel. Behind them and coming on, that's First Grandson. Then comes Lady Lauren. King Pie contented to race at the back along with Battle Angel. They head around the clubhouse turn, and it is Midnight Galaxy on that lead. Shani Star right there in second. Mac and Rome is right there too, along with Princess Fiani, and as they come out of the coming to the 6 furlong pole. Then comes the pair of Lady Lauren and Supremacy right behind them. That's First Grandson. Then comes Rackdom, and still at the back of the field, King Pie, and racing way out of it, and now looks to be hauled up. That is a Battle Angel. They pass the 5 and head towards the 4, and the war up front continues. Mac and Rome right in between horses. That's Shani Star right against the rail. That's Midnight Angel. Then comes Princess Fiani, overtaken now by on the hunt. That's Supremacy. Then comes 3 lengths before we come to King Pie, now hustled up and out for more and begins to gain. Also, Rackdom is backing out. Then comes up Lady Lauren, and at the back of the field, First Grandson. They'll come into the lane shortly, and it is still Midnight Galaxy on that lead. Out wide, King Pie is really traveling nicely on the outside, and I think King Pie has now hit the front. It's King Pie, Mac and Rome right against the rail. It's King Pie and Mac and Rome still there. It's Midnight Galaxy. Princess Fiani is right on the rail and trying to come forward. It's a nice looking race coming to the furlong pole, and it is Mac and Rome and Midnight Galaxy coming back for more. Mac and Rome and Midnight Galaxy. This is where the race will be live, and now it's Mac and Rome that goes on. Midnight Galaxy fighting hard. Mac and Rome beats Midnight Galaxy. Then comes King Pie, Princess Vianney, and Supremacy back in 5th.
They're off. Coming away quickly was Cleopatra Queen. Riches to Rags right alongside. Train of Thought racing widest of them all. Rockola hugs the rail as they go flashing past the mile. Train of Thought on the outside, Cleopatra Queen in between horses, Rockola the one on the rail now moving second, Cleopatra Queen backing out in third. Riches to Rags is racing in fourth as they go slipping past the 7. A break of 5 to King Pie, Shooting Star right alongside, Brenda Boy's next, then we have Chesney, and at the back of the field it's a Solar Black as they take the backstretch proper and make their way flashing past the 6. Train of Thought leads them by some 3 lengths. Cleopatra Queen on the outside of Rockola, just the next separates those. A length of the piece back to Riches to Rags as they head toward the 5. King Pie is a further 4 lengths back. A break of 3 to Shooting Star, joined by Brenda Boy. They accompany each other on the run to the half mile, and the gap opens up to Chesney, and the Solar Black remains last. They're approaching now the far turn and the half-mile pole. They're beginning to group up on the lead. Train of Thought just the leader. Riches to Rags still on the premises. Rockola is there. Shooting Star is left out of it as they go flashing past the 7/16th. And it is a Train of Thought. Here is King Pie now kicking in on the outside. Also beginning to make some steady ground. That appears to be Brenda Boy as they come now thundering up past the 5/16th. King Pie racing down against the rail will come into that lane. Harassed all the while by Brenda Boy, who was quickened on the outside. It is King Pie, the rider, having a look over his shoulder. Brenda Boy is the main danger. Riches to Rags has been switched toward the outside, and still King Pie maintains the lead. Brenda Boy maintains pressure, but King Pie continues to hold the advantage by maybe 2 lengths. Flashing past the furlong pole, it is King Pie and Radish Roman. They'll arrive at the final 16th with a 2-length lead. Brenda Boy trying to cut into it, but can't. King Pie will win the Jamaica Equine Veterinary Association Trophy. Brenda Boy second. Riches to Rags finishing ahead of Chesney. Shooting Star is back in 5th. They're off for the St. Ledger. Mac and Rome gets a good start on the far side with Supremacy. California Crown will attempt to go all the way. As now going through to get that lead, California Crown. There's Supremacy rushing up between horses. Mac and Rome on the rail. Allegiance 5 lengths in behind them with the speedy Run Julie Run restrained this afternoon as they head into that clubhouse turn. King Pie, interesting times ahead, follow through. Provident races toward the back of the field with Crown Chaser. Brenda Boy second from last, and Captain Sparrow will have to fly late. They're into that clubhouse turn. They make their way now toward the final 7. Mackenroom just leader, Supremacy pressing a half a length down. California Crown Reserve back in 3rd as they make their way now toward the final 6 furlongs. Interesting times ahead is just another 3 lengths in behind that bunch. Allegiance races next, a close-up 5th as they go past the 6. Run, Julie, run, not let you set. King Pie is 4 lengths in behind her. Provident just a half a length down and running the rail. Crown Chaser toward the back. And last of all, it is a Captain Sparrow and Brenda Boy as they head toward the half mile. They've left the 5 behind them in the St. Ledger. Continuing, California Crown has now shot through and gets that lead, attempting to steal away from them. Supremacy going in chase 4 lengths down. Interesting times ahead now bursts through, and it is interesting times ahead who has now taken 2nd place. But up front it is a California Crown. The filly Run Julie Run now grabs a hold of them, and Run Julie Run now takes the lead on the approach to the 5/16th. Interesting times ahead right alongside her, and these two will come into the lane in the Jamaica St. Ledger, the brave Run Julie Run. Interesting times ahead now looks to point. Run Julie Run not done yet. Beginning to run on from behind. That is Crown Chaser, but they run toward the furlong pole. Interesting times ahead, shaking loose from Run Julie Run. Interesting times ahead opens up 2 in the drive. They approach the final 16th. It is interesting times ahead out in front and pouring away from them. Interesting times ahead, a 4-timer for Jason DaCosta and Tevin Foster. Crown Chaser looks to be just 2nd over Run Julie Run, then Provident, and finishing up in 5th, Captain Sparrow. They're off. Good start. Seaplane on the rail. Rockola in between runners. Oil Machine gathers momentum quickly and dashes to the front as they enter the clubhouse turn and approach the mile marker. Oil Machine sets the fractions, leading up by some 3.5 to 4 lengths. Seaplane chasing down against the rail. Legend of Zaro in the green pulling alongside. Rockola asked to form the line of 3, a gap of some 8 or more to Chinita Estrella and Design Diva at the back. They've left the 7 and make their way down the back stretch and head toward the final 6 furlongs, and Oil Machine attempts to go all the way, leading up by some 2.5 lengths. Rockola moving down into 2nd, Seaplane on the rail, right alongside Legend of Zara reversing a bit. A huge gap opens up to the trailing pair, Design Diva and Chinita Estrella, as Oil Machine continues to travel powerfully on the lead as they leave the 5, opening up some 6 or 7 lengths. Seaplane in pursuit with Rockola for company. A gap of 5 lengths opens up to Legend of Zaro, a gap of maybe 7 or 8 to Design Diva, and Chinita Estrella firmly planted at the back. Oil Machine continues to function well, leaving the 7/16th with a 7 or 8 length lead, being chased now in earnest by Seaplane under the pump as they leave the 3. A huge gap to Rockola, a large one to Design Diva, now moving away from Legend of Zara, tiring and fading badly. At the back of the field, that's Chinita Estrella, now coming through for 2nd to last, as up front Oil Machine continues to turn on. Oil Machine, the rider, having a look behind. Seaplane continues the chase, but a long way back. Behind them, that's Design Diva and Rockola. He looks to have given up, but up front, it's all Oil Machine under the hand ride inside the final furlong, approaching the final 16th, and Oil Machine has demolished the field. He's cruising in under the hand ride and won't be caught. Oil Machine easily wins it. Design Diva is chasing in 2nd. Then comes Seaplane and Rockola. They're off for the 2,000 guineas. Provident just a shade slowly out along with King Pie. California Crown moves up to set the early fractions as they run toward the 7. Crown Chaser racing out on the outside. Interesting times ahead, getting closer to that leader. King's Crown is right with the first 3 as they make their way down the back stretch. Jay Spieth racing in behind King's Crown. A break back to Playfair and Allegiance as they run past the 6. A gap back to Provident, and King Pie trailing and hopeless at the moment as they make their way about to flash past the 5. California Crown out on that lead. Interesting times ahead, throttle back in 2nd, a length and a half. Crown Chaser is right on the outside as they go flashing up now inside the final half mile and run the turn for home. King's Crown making ground with J. Spieth. Allegiance is there. Play fair toward the outside of horses. Asked to make some ground, that's Provident, and King Pie now left out of it as we had a quarter mile in 24.1 and a half mile in 47.2 as they blaze past the half mile and come toward the top of the stretch. It is California Crown stretching that lead. Interesting times ahead now. Asked to go get him as they're into the lane. It is California Crown and Robert Hallidine. Interesting times ahead now, trying to reel the leader in, but California Crown is moving quickly as they head toward the final furlong. Interesting times ahead now, beginning to nibble at that lead. California Crown out in front by 2 lengths. Interesting times ahead, trying to catch him. California Crown attempting to go all the way. This is the 50th running of the 2000 Guineas. Robert Hallidine and California Crown upset the favourite. Interesting times ahead. Provident on the outside looks to be third over Allegiance, and Crown Chaser is back in fifth. They're off. Chief Dissident, Sprague. Those are the slowest to get away with Provident, also indestructible toward the back. As they slip past the 6, Affair has gone into an early lead and opens up some 2 lengths. A chase by Mac and Rome racing in the green. In between runners, as they go down the back stretch, Provident is a prominent. Right on the rail, that's Indestructible. Supremacy now asked to make some ground as they're running away toward the final half of a mile. Affair out in front. Mac and Rome chasing with Indestructible. Rockola now begins a big move on the outside. Provident is 5.5 lengths off that lead. The General and Supremacy race up together. Sprague is further back ahead of only one. That's Chief Dissident as they go dashing past the 3 and make their way toward the 5/16th. It's a 2-horse race at the moment. Affair on the rail. Right alongside that's Mac and Rome and Robert Hallidine applying pressure as they come into the lane, and Mac and Rome now points. Affair will try the fight back down against the rail. Indestructible now wound up against the fence. In between runners, that's a Provident task to make ground. Rockola has faded back, but they drive toward the furlong pole, and Mac and Rome in the green silk holds the lead. Here is Provident now, sprouting wings on the outside and asked to close the gap. Affair running down against the rail, but it's Mac and Rome and a Provident. These two going at it. Jose Osorio and Provident now pick up the lead close home and go on to beat Mac and Rome by maybe 2 lengths. Rockola has finished in 3rd. Indestructible 4th. Looks to be Affair finishing in 5th over the General. They're off. Pineapple staggers out of the box. Left at the back early. Bold Move dashes into an impressive early lead as they charge down the back stretch, stretching away by some 3 lengths. Happy Force chasing. Pineapple recovering on the outside now to get 2nd over Happy Force in 3rd. Francis races on the outside of a moving Uncle Peck overtaking, and Titan Tempo just trails the field. They leave the half mile and they make their way now toward the 7/16th, and Bold Move takes them along by 1.5 lengths. Pineapple chasing. Happy Force a 1/2 length down and running the rail. A break back to Uncle Peck in the blue silks. Francis runs the rail, overtaken now by Titan Tempo as they leave the 5/16th and make their way toward the top of the lane, and Bold Move continues to hold the advantage by some 2 or 3 lengths. Happy Force hugging on to that rail. On the outside, the favourite Pineapple now shaken up and asked to close the gap, but Bold Move maintains the lead with 3/16 remaining, and Bold Move is actually moving away from them as they approach the final furlong. It is Bold Move out in front under the Sneaky Fox or Radish Roman. Titan Tempo moving best of the rest in 2nd. Happy Force cries enough on the rail, but it is Bold Move and Radish Roman. They're coming home, skipping in to win it by maybe 3 lengths. Titan Tempo 2nd. Finishing 3rd, that's Happy Force ahead of Uncle Peck.
They're off and racing. Very clean start. Chesney breaks smartly on the inside. J. Speed hustled up and rushing on the outside. Right there too, that is Supremacy. Unruly Don cuts the corner and saves ground. Hustled back into 4th rather. That's Chesney. Then comes Lady Lauren. Buttercup overtaking Captain Sparrow and Brenda Boy racing at the back of the field. Make their way out of the clubhouse turn and go toward the backstretch, and it is Supremacy on that lead. They've got 6 furlongs to cover. Supremacy narrowly in front of J. Speed, settled in 2nd, watching them from 3rd. That is Unruly Dawn. 5 lengths away before we come to Chesney. Another 5 before we come to Lady Lauren, Buttercup. Then come the trailing pair of Brenda Boy and Captain Sparrow. They head toward the 5, and it is Supremacy on that lead. A length and a tail in front of JSP, tracking intently in second. 3 lengths away before we come to Unruly Dawn racing in a third. Right there in fourth, that's Chesney. Another 3 before we come to Lady Lauren. Brenda Boy recovering, going down beside Buttercup, and still racing at the back of the field, that Captain Sparrow. They leave the 4 and head toward the 3, and it is Supremacy stretching them out now, about a length and now 2 lengths in front. A wall of horses coming forward, also Lady Lauren and Brenda Boy. It is still making the running. Supremacy coming at the top of the lane. Supremacy with that lead. Coming on to that's Lady Lauren. It is Supremacy in front. Captain Sparrow looks to be trying to come through on the inside, but here comes on the outside now. That is Captain Sparrow, and Captain Sparrow now hits the front. Supremacy is trying to fight back, leaving the furlong pole. It's Captain Sparrow in the midst of Lover beginning to skip away from Supremacy, trying hard. It's Captain Sparrow and Action Pack Ren Lewis. He'll have a third on the card. Captain Sparrow winning by about 4. Supremacy, good try in second. Then comes Lady Lauren and Brenda Boy in fourth.
Thank you for watching another video produced by the team from QuickGallopJaya.com and its YouTube channel, The Quick Galloper. Please stay on the channel for other enlightening videos on those involved in local horse racing. Please like, subscribe, and press the notification bell.